Welcome dear students to our video classes. Today we will learn from the economics book chapter number 1 called development. So when you go through the series, kindly take your pen. You can note down in your copies. You can pause the video, note down the important points which will come on the screen so that you can become thorough with your chapter. Thank you. So dear students, here is the name of the lesson, development. Have you ever understood, have you ever tried to understand the concept of development? Does it have a universal definition? No. Development doesn't have any universal fixed definition or a theory. Because the idea of development or progress has always been with us. But everyone defines the concept of development in their own ways. And how can one develop oneself? It all depends upon the aspirations and the desires which one is having. And in that aspiration and desires, you like to do something in your life. And we plan how we will going to live. What type of development we will aspire for. So the idea of development differs from person to person. Let us understand, like the landless rural laborers. You know, the landless rural laborers are those who work as farmers, but they do not have their own land. They are landless farmers. So they, at the time of sowing or at the time of harvesting, they go in the fields of others and do the work, and like this they earn their own wages. And if you ask any landless rural laborers, what do you mean by development? He will say, for me the development is that I should get more days to work and I should get better wages. Another thing which he will desire is a local school in which he can send his children at least to have some basic education. But think about prosperous farmers, those who are rich, well-to-do farmers. Are they thinking about more days to work, or are they thinking about more wages? No. Their idea of development is different. Okay, their focus is high family income through higher support prices for their crops. Higher support prices, you should know. These higher support prices are declared by the government. So prosperous farmers will not be thinking about more wages or more days to work, but his focus will be upon high income and how much higher support prices the farmer can get from the government. Now think about a girl from a rich urban family. She wants as much freedom as her brother, and she feels that she is able to decide what she wants to do in life. That freedom she wants. So for her, development is not simply education, but in the area of freedom. She wants development in the area of freedom, that she should be given equal freedom to move out freely, to do whatever dream she has. There should be no restrictions from the family side. So for that girl, the concept of development has to do with getting more freedom. So what do we learn? We learn that different persons have different developmental goals. You may have your own developmental goals. What may be development for one may not be development for the other. You should understand this. One person may want to develop in business, another person may want to develop in joining army, the forces. So you can see their developmental goals are different. One wants to uh, develop himself in business, another wants to develop in the service of nation. He wants to join forces. But sometimes what I call development for myself, it may lead to the destruction of other. Say for example, I want to develop my handicraft industry. For that I need more wood. So what I will expect? Cutting down of more trees. So in the name of development, I am basically behaving like a destructive person, destroying the nature. So this is how we have to understand that development goals are different, and whenever we are talking about development, we have to keep in mind that our development should not bring harm to others. Okay, dear students, welcome to the video series. This is our second part to the lesson development. Okay, so let us begin with a question. Do all of people or these persons or those persons have the same notion of development or progress? You know, in last slide we saw that the urban girl has her own developmental issues. A businessman may have its own developmental issue. The one who joins the forces had its own developmental issues. So, do they have the same notion, same idea about development or progress? The answer is no. So we have to know, we have to understand that different people can have different development goals. And sometimes it may be the development for other, but it can cause destruction to someone else. This is what we saw in the last video, that I want to develop my handicraft industry. So I require more woods, and for that I have to cut down more trees. Cutting down more trees means I am destroying the nature. So we have to understand development is important, but it should not be at the cost of destroying other aspects. Now let us learn important point in this slide: income and other goals. Remember, dear students, income. Income means the money which you get in return of your work. So remember, seeking income is one of the developmental goals. Everyone wants to earn. Even I also want to earn. And one day you will also be standing on your feet and earning. But remember, apart from income, you also want other aspects in your developmental goal, like equal treatment, freedom, security, and respect of others. And you do not want to be discriminated because of gender, or because of caste, or because of language, or because of religion. Wherever you want to go, you want that people should treat you equally. They should not discriminate you. And you should be given freedom, and we should feel secure wherever we are going. Okay? So we have to understand that income is one of the important aspects in our development. But just having material goods are not all that you need in your life. There are other aspects also you need in your life apart from money and material. So money or material factors are important. Okay, you can buy many materials because of money. That is one factor on which our life depends. But equality of our life also depends on non-material things. What are non-material things? Equality, honor, love, respect, no discrimination. These are non-material things. So for our own development, we require, apart from material things, non-material things also. So there are many things which you can measure. Material things can be measured. How much money you have in your bank account, how much property you have. But there are a lot many other things which cannot be measured, like non-material things. How will you measure honor, respect, love? It's difficult to measure. Here one example is given. Suppose if you get a job in far off place, the prospect of income is very good. Okay, so everyone wants to go and join there. You will also go, but join apart from just earning the income from that job, you will also consider many other aspects, whether you will be treated in that place equally, whether there will be no discrimination, okay, and whether you will have proper respect or not. So these things also helps in our development. Okay.